Maido! Hi there, Japan fans! In today's show, we're going to talk about some common errors, some really common things people do when they're presenting that are so easy, so simple to fix. Let's get down to it. Present or master shimashou. This is the fourth year of the Presentations Japan series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku here in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. My new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 236. Today we're talking about gold medal mistakes when presenting. Our event speaker was very well coiffed and well appointed, a senior executive in one of the world's biggest corporations. The topic was on building your personal brand. It was a good crowd. Anticipation gradually turned to disappointment, though, as the talk unfolded. The talk was on how to project your brand within this gargantuan monster, how to climb their 1,000-foot greasy pole. Before we started, I had worked the room pretty thoroughly, combing the ranks of the assembled professionals for any potential clients. None of them worked for this type of colossus. So the speaker's sage advice missed the mark entirely. How could that be? I thought to myself. One of the big mistakes for a presenter is not understanding who is going to be in the room. At what level should you pitch your content? Are they experts, amateurs, dilettantes? At the least, ask the organizers for the attendees' company name and their positions. If our speaker had done that, it could have become more relevant to those who took the trouble to attend. We need to make a decision about what is the purpose of our talk. Are we here to inform, entertain, inspire, or persuade? The hosts give us the overall theme. We now analyze our audience so that we know what angle we should select. In this previous case, it would have been to inform, and in that sense, the speaker got it right. An inspire speech will be totally different to a persuade or entertain speech. Think back to the presentations you've attended. What was the speaker's approach? Was it just a jumble? A catch-all effort? I'm putting my money on jumble. We have 3 seconds to grab our audience's attention and create a positive first impression. It has to be powerful enough, so powerful that they don't seize their phones and escape from us to the siren calls of the internet. Why 3 seconds? Over the last 5 years, I've been asking class participants, how long does it take for you to form a first impression of someone new? The answers used to range from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. Today, they tell me 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds. It is shocking how little time we actually have. So, our opening has to be well planned or we will have lost the room. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is brought to you by, on May the 12th, we're doing cross and upselling. May the 14th, leading and managing. May the 18th, time management. May the 21st, developing subordinates, and the 28th of May, we're doing communicating with different personality styles. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. You can buy best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Audiences are quick to judge, slow to trust, and fast to flee from our presentation. We need to have a blockbuster opening, something that will stop them in their tracks. However, what do we see presenters doing with those first few vital moments? They are not actively engaging the audience because they are head down, hunched over their laptop, fumbling with their slide deck to get up on screen. At the next presentation you attend, count the number of first impression killers the presenter is exhibiting. Have they managed to capture your total attention from the very first few seconds, or are you reaching for your phone? Rehearsal is such an obvious point, but it almost never happens with business presenters. This one thing will change everything about how the talk is received and how you will be perceived. Get there early and check all the equipment. Also, have someone else load your slide deck for you if it can't be primed, ready to go. We need to be 100% present with our audience, so reduce all friction impeding that result. Begin by picking out someone in your audience about halfway back and around about the middle of the venue. Make direct eye contact with that person. And for the next 6 seconds, speak to them as if you were the only 2 people in the room. Then at random, move to the next person and just keep repeating this 6-second process for the entire presentation. Why 6 seconds? Anything less doesn't give you enough time to engage that person one-on-one. However, continuously staring at someone burns into their retina and becomes too intrusive. We want to directly engage as many people as possible in the time we have, so our engagement time split is important. We want our message to be fondly recalled, savoured like a fine wine and fully imbibed by our audience. Our speakers, many our technical speakers, have deluded themselves into thinking the data is all. They believe they get a free pass on needing to be a proficient and professional presenter because the quality of their information trumps everything else. Not true. The audience remember two things: you and the stories you told. Sadly, none of that cool data you've cavalierly tossed up on screen is retained. They will remember you as someone they would like to hear from again or not. The data wrapped up in stories is the way to make sure your key points are heard and remembered. Even if they are enjoying your talk, some in the audience have no shame about brandishing their phones to do some multitasking and surfing the internet. Stories stop them in their tracks and they will switch back to us. Here is the snapper, though. How many speakers have you heard use stories well or at all? If it is so effective, why are speakers just droning on about the details? They just don't know, and it shows. The good news is that the speaker proficiency bar is so low, we can easily shine by just avoiding some of these simple mistakes. We make it hard for ourselves unnecessarily. We want to be a gold medal winner, but finish up being a prize dud. The choice is yours. So which will you choose for your next presentation? Why not go for being a winner, a presentations Olympian, every time you speak? Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.